Hi everybody, Dacob here. Welcome back to the Fashion Bunker. I have a great video for you guys today. I'm going to read part of the comments that you've left in the Q&A question that I asked of you to leave on my Instagram profile. My Instagram profile being Super Dacob, all spelled together. So you can go check that out. I post a lot of things there, especially considering the fact, that most of the stuff first hits there and then comes here. So I announce stuff on Instagram a lot. So you can go follow me there in order to get all the scoops on what's the buzz in the Fashion Bunker. And of course, thanks to Instagram, a lot of friendships developed throughout the years. And I would like to draw all of y'all's attention to Fadi. How you doing, Fadi, sweetie? So Fadi's profile name on Instagram is Fadi639. So that's Faddy 639. Now, why am I saying to everybody, go to Fadi's profile? Well, Fadi, he posted this publicly, so I'm allowed to share that. 4 weeks ago, he was diagnosed with a spinal cord tumor. Shock to the system indeed. Then he went for life-changing surgery. He's in the hospital now and he is recovering. So, woo! Yes! So, guys, this is great news. Fadi's doing better. I am sending you, Fadi, all my love. We've known each other for years now. And you keep telling me I'm your inspiration, but you're my inspiration. So, I just want everybody. He's recovering. He's basically, he has love for jogging and running. And they've extracted most of this tumor out of the spinal cord. So he has to go to rehab, and literally like a kid, you got to learn how to walk all over again. So you got to go to his Instagram profile and you got to send him love and energy, best wishes to heal as quick as possible, to get into rehab, to get those feet going again, to get to use the sneakers, to get to use all those jogging sneakers, and to get running out the door and throughout the world. And we have to stand together in these cases. When love is needed, we are it's like a magnet, we are drawn to it like moths to a flame. You have to go and send it to the person that needs it. Fadi is surrounded by incredible people that love him, that care for him, but to also see that virtually there's a community out there that can send you so much love and attention is very important. It's vital. So please go to Faddy 639, Fadi 639 on Instagram and send him all the love and support. Thank you guys so much. And Fadi, I'm going to see you almost every day in the Fashion Bunker through the videos. I haven't been posting a video a day lately because I have been going through a turmoil myself. Very dear, this is again, a very dear friend of the family has also landed in a hospital and in Miami. And it's because there's also a legal issue at hand, I cannot go into detail, but I might make a story time video about the situation without naming any names, but just explaining how vicious, cruel, not humane in any way a health system can be at times. And I'm getting super emotional. Okay. I'm going to pull it together, goddammit. I'm not going to cry in a video because you have to be strong in moments like these. I will say this, and I might get into this video sometimes later on. Get your papers together, sort things out. Make it very clear that in case of emergency, if it's a life or death situation, make it very clear that you have stated somewhere in some sort of will or some sort of, paper officializing who gets the right to stand next to you, to make decisions for you, life or death decisions, whether or not to turn off a respirator machine or a heart beater for you or something like that. Not just that, but also everything that regards your money, how your bills, everything. Because if you land in a coma and you have not appointed anybody as either your next of kin that has the right to, take certain legal decisions for you, it might end very bad for you. So be cautious. All I am saying, prepare yourself. Yes, we always hope for the best, but anytime the worst can happen. So all I'm saying is just be sure to have all your papers sorted out, guys, in case, you know, shit hits the fan. But anyway, let's get to your marvelous questions. And I'm not going to, of course, manage to say much in this video because the questions are incredible and very complex, guys. Like you're really pushing the buttons there and making it very, very difficult to kind of give just quick, you know, answers, because I mean, sophisticated questions require sophisticated answers, and sophisticated answers require time. So basically, let's read through a couple of them. I'm just gonna go chronologically as they pour it in. I'm gonna read them, and then, you know, wherever we stop and move on. Okay, so Katya _ Bozukova _ art. How you doing, sweetie? Okay. So I asked the question, like, give me, you know, Q&As, tell me what you want to know, ask me what you want to know, and you say, that's so exciting. I love how you use the channel, or even Chanel, haha, talk videos, showcase so many wonderful comments and answer questions. Thank you so much, sweetie. I recently saw a Louis Vuitton bag from the Steven Sprouse collection, a Neverfull with the roses print, and it made me wonder, which Vuitton collabs are the best in your opinion? You have made a video about Chanel classics versus seasonal bags, I think. But what is your opinion on Louis Vuitton? I really loved that roses print bag when I saw it, and I'm thinking it might be worth saving up for Pre-Loved or another print. But I'm not sure. Thank you for the content, and I hope you had a fantastic birthday. Thank you so much, Katya, sweetie. Yes, I did have a fantastic birthday. The month of June has passed, alas, as has my birthday. So looking forward to next year. I love Louis Vuitton, and I've said this in many instances in the past. You know, I also mentioned to somebody briefly in the comments section, I went to, you know, my essay in the Chanel boutique. I mean, we know each other very well, so we also make jokes. You know, it's not like we have this distant relationship of always being very, you know, distant from one another. So you can't like allow yourself a joke on the other person's behalf. You gotta be able to read one another a little bit. You know, it makes the relationship grow. So, you know, I pulled out, this, mind you, happened a year ago. Now that you're thinking, I pulled up a wallet to pay something. I didn't buy anything new this year. This was quite some time ago because, I mean, it's about my Zippy Compact, my Louis Vuitton Zippy Compact wallet, which I have since many, many years now. I don't know, 5 years already? I don't even know. So this happened, I think, a year ago or even longer. I don't know when it happened. But whenever I pull out this wallet, basically, because I always use that, that's the only wallet I have, I always use that wallet. She always like makes fun of me, like, it's, again, you know, that Louis Vuitton stuff, like downgrading Louis Vuitton. It's just a joke. Of course, she's respectful of Louis Vuitton and has some Louis Vuitton pieces in her own private time. But the funny thing is, I tell her always, yes, I will never have, now, no offense to anybody who has Chanel wallets, but I would never buy a Chanel wallet because I need a heavy-duty wallet. I need a wallet that I can throw in my bag, in my pocket, in my jacket. It's coming out, in and out, zipper open, zipper closes, zipper opens, 1,000 times a day. It's just like moving that wallet. And the Zippy Compact is intact and pristine and perfect and beautiful, just like it was the day I bought it. Of course, it morphs a little, it changes with time, but it's so amazing. The quality is incredible. So Chanel wallets, lambskin, caviar, they don't they cannot handle all that, you know, pressure and stress. But anyway, I digress. So she's always like, what, you know, like, ew, how could you put a Louis Vuitton wallet in a Chanel bag? Whatever, first world problems. But it's just a joke, you know. And then I always say, well, as long as Chanel doesn't, you know, step it up and make a wallet that's actually heavy duty, I ain't gonna get one. So, but as far as the collaborations are concerned, my favorite one to date, most of you know this already, is the Takashi Murakami, under the leadership and the guidance of Marc Jacobs for Louis Vuitton. That collaboration, and the several collaborations made throughout the years, it's almost like a decade-long collaboration, and some of the multicolor pieces are still available today, officially, in the Louis Vuitton assortment. So you could say the collaboration indirectly still continues today. It's the best, most incredible collaboration ever made. The cherries collection is to die for, the smiling, cute little cherries, and also the multicolor stuff and the whole kind of the onion man, the onion head man, the flower head man, the panda, everything, you know. I just adore Takashi Murakami. And some of you, and I'm sorry if I don't remember who exactly, but some of you, because I have, all of you are my ears and my eyes. It's incredible. You keep sending me direct messages on Instagram, giving me all the insider tips, like what's happening, you know. You're like the best infiltrated spies I could have ever imagined of having, because you guys are on it. You're like, every day I wake up, the first thing I do, I turn on Instagram and I check my messages, the direct messages, because like you're always sending me news, the buzz, you know, like what's going on. Did you hear that this came out? Did you hear that came out? A lot of you have been like telling me that Chanel raised their prices for Chanel perfumes, again, for the Les Exclusives range in America. And, you know, I stopped following their price increases for perfumes because they don't have the eau de toilettes anymore. And I don't want to buy the eau de parfums. And I'm not purchasing anything new this year. So I'm kind of like a bit not ahead of my game with pricing yet. I will be again in 2018. But all stuff like that, you know, the queues outside, you know, where was it? In Miami for Louis Vuitton collaboration with Supreme, all that stuff. So it's super fascinating for me. Thanks to you guys, I kind of find out everything. You're like my news anchors, reporters all over the globe. It's incredible, and I love you for that. So why was I saying this collaboration? Oh, yeah, so somebody told me, one of you guys told me that you heard through the grapevine somewhere that Takashi Murakami is coming to collaborate again with Louis Vuitton. So fingers crossed that that is the case. If it is, I'm going to be ecstatic with happiness and pleasure. Steven Sprouse, I adore the graffiti Steven Sprouse bags, the print, both neon and the more military kind of grungy colors. Yayoi Kusama was also amazing, although I did not like her pumpkin transposed print, the polka dot prints onto the bags. It was a bit too, I don't want to say literal, but graphic. It was too much of her, kind of, too much of that color on it. But I still have the amazing polka dot sunglasses, the round ones from that collection, Louis Vuitton with Yayoi Kusama. That's one I like very much. What Louis Vuitton is doing as of late, collaboration-wise, I'm not into that. I'm really not into that. Well, let me just read the question. Never fooled the roses print, and it made me wonder which color are the best in your opinion. Ah, yes, okay. So I'm answering the question. The ones that are best in my opinion. Yeah, Yayoi Kusama and Takashi Murakami, and they both just so happen to be Japanese. But I just think it fits so well, this kind of almost detached and lighthearted, even though Yayoi Kusama is an artist and also Takashi Murakami, they're both very critical of society as well. I mean, don't underestimate what in the surface appears to be superficial, because there's a depth in there. Oh, don't get fooled for a second. There's depth there. But I just like the fact how aesthetics are approached within Asian and in particular Japanese culture, and how that juxtaposed, you know, to the Louis Vuitton kind of mentality and very, very French, dare I say, snobby conservative approach to aesthetics and how things, you know, are produced and manufactured, which I adore. So snobbery can at times be used as a positive, even though it never really is. But you know what I mean? Snobby in a way, because certain designs and aesthetics and the monogram and the patterns of Louis Vuitton can be, you know, if not approached in the right way and not placed and positioned within the right context, can be perceived as snobby, for sure. But anything can, at the end of the day. But I digress. So, I love the lightheartedness of certain saturated colors and approach to aesthetics and design of Japanese artists, added as a layer to this kind of more conservative Louis Vuitton approach to traveling and to conquering the world. Because it tones down that pretentiousness that Louis Vuitton can bring with itself to the table. You know, it tones it down. It makes it more approachable, and I love that so much. And it makes it approachable in a playful way. You know, you might say, "Oh, Supreme with Louis Vuitton, it's a great collaboration because, you know, it's like bringing it to the street." I don't think so. The prices are too high for kids to, you know, for regular kids to purchase it, and it's not playful and witty. It's very wannabe. You know, the Supreme for Louis Vuitton collaboration is very Like, okay, we're going to make a street style collection, but it's going to be so snobby, high class. Like, we're going to elevate it to newer heights. Why do you need to elevate street style to new heights? It's the other way around. It's the designers, it's the luxury snobs out there that have to look to the streets. You gotta look down to the little man that becomes powerful in that moment, because it's from the street where fashion is born. The brands have to hire mostly trend scouts that are going to kind of tell them, and prepare in advance, years in advance, marketing ploys and strategies to create a trend, to create a buzz. But at the end of the day, all these scouts are doing is finding you guys on the streets, checking you out, what you are wearing while you're walking to the grocery. You never know. They're not wearing uniforms. It doesn't say Trend Scout on their freaking foreheads. They're just gonna, scan you, check you out at all sorts of places. You never know. And then like 2 years later, you're gonna find like the look that you were wearing is all of a sudden branded, Mr. Demna, Gvasalia kind of all of a sudden introduced this fabulous new trend from Balenciaga, when indeed it's already 2 years old. So trends are tricky, and brands are desperate to have the power necessary to manipulate you, and under you, also me, us, into believing we need to buy into their fads and their trends, when in fact all they did was copy us. Except they took our ideas for free because they were observing us while we are not even conscious of the fact that they're observing us and stealing our looks. And then very cleverly, shrewdly, and in a very snobby way, they resell it to us a year or two later for a humongous amount of money, because they sell it to us as luxury or high-end fashion. And then we think we have to buy into that, when indeed it all started from us. So think about that next time you want to drop, a grand or two on a piece you think is like so hip and must have. No, the coolest thing is to be yourself. I love buying vintage. I love buying vintage because if something you discover that you love so much from the past makes your heart skip a beat, get it. It's a part of your personality. There's no questions asked. Because you know that there is no brainwashing involved. Yeah, sure, ad campaigns from back in the day when that piece was new might have, involved some sort of strategies to make you want a piece, and those might still be stuck and anchored inside of you, and they might be re-triggered once you receive the piece 10 or 11 years later. All is possible. I'm not saying we're all, flawless in our way of choosing aesthetics and style, but at least you know that when you hunt down a vintage piece that really speaks to you, to your heart, to your individuality, to your character, it's something that's authentic, that's true to you, to who you are. Unless, of course, you don't start seeing, some of the starlets out there that have usually, basically, it's just 2 to 3 stylists rotating amongst all the same stars, styling all of them. And then you see Rihanna wear something, you want to have it. That's a different story. That's also a trend. Wanting to wear something vintage that Rihanna wore because one of the stylists she has access to certain vintage collections, that's a different issue. Doesn't mean you gotta have to have it too. Rihanna's just wearing it that night and then it's over, it's gone with, and you're gonna be stuck wishing you could have that piece, but you not only cannot afford that piece, but you can't hunt it down because that piece isn't in production anymore since over 20 years if it's pure vintage, because vintage needs 20 years to become vintage. So what do you end up doing? You end up purchasing something from Rihanna, a record, music, whatever, piece of merchandise, because you think mentally you own a piece of that amazing, unreachable piece or accessory that she wore. It's a sick strategy and way of brainwashing us into purchasing things. Be very cautious, be clever, outsmart the brand marketing, outsmart the capitalistic system that is kind of set in place to make you spend all the hard-earned money that you've earned. Okay, guys, well, it's going to cut me off. Wow, we only managed to answer one question in this video, but I'm going to make more for sure, and I'm going to get to all your questions. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you liked this video. If you have, please do thumb it up, and let me know all your opinions and thoughts in the comment section down below. And Fadi, my dear, I love you so much. Don't you give up on love, Eva. And I know you never will, because you are like one of the strongest people out there. So guys, if you haven't already but do wish to, please consider subscribing to my channel here on YouTube. I'm also on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter. Again, I shall never stress enough to repeat this. More than ever, it is necessary that we never forget to never give up on love. Love you guys. See you soon. Take care. Bye.